today he go with us and me. My name is Duy. Duy, spelling D-U-Y. Duy. So today I'm very unhappy go with you for a away trip, and I hope that we have good time together in Halong Bay. So everybody, how are you today? Good. How are you? Are you sure? Yeah. If you're not sure, right, let me know. I will take you back to the hotel and see you tomorrow. Yeah. So everyone, now we say goodbye Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, right? You know, Hanoi became the capital of Vietnam long time ago, more than 1,000 years ago. In the past, you know, we call capital of Vietnam with many names. The first name we call Thăng Long, and the second name we call Hanoi. You know, every name they have meaning. Why name Thăng Long? Why name Hanoi? Because you know we have a story. Everyone, when you stay in Hanoi Oak Water, so that you walking around the lake in Hanoi Oak Water. So you see beside the lake, right? There is a park. Inside a park, right? You can see there is a statue, the big statue, right? So that is the King Lý Thái Tổ, the king for the Lý dynasty in 10th century. He decided choose Hanoi for capital, and then he named capital Thăng Long. Why? Because you know before Hanoi become the capital of Vietnam, you know the Hoa Lư Ninh Bình. Hoa Lư Ninh Bình is called the capital of Vietnam. Yeah, in 10th century. But you know in the year 1010, the King Lý Thái Tổ he decided move capital from Hoa Lư Ninh Bình to Hanoi. So he go to the Hanoi by boat. When the king boat right cruising on the Red River, so suddenly he looked up the sky. He saw a cloud in the sky. You know the shaped cloud looked like a dragon falling up the sky. Because you know dragon in Vietnam, right? In Vietnamese culture, you know dragon is one of the four sacred animal. Four sacred animal. They are dragon, phoenix, toro, and nghe. You know dragon image it represent for the king. So that's why the king he thought that you know Hanoi like good land for living, so he decided choose Hanoi for capital, and then he named capital Thăng Long. Thăng Long is mean the city of upstanding dragon. Thăng is mean upstanding, Long is mean dragon, right? You know in the year 1831, the King Minh Mạng number 12, he decided rename the Thăng Long to Hanoi, because you know he based on the location of Hanoi. Because you know Hanoi city is mean the city inside the river. Ha is mean river, no is mean inside. Hanoi was surrounded by two rivers. The first one is named Dai River, and the second one you see the Red River. You know the Red River, it is the second biggest river in Vietnam. It starts from China, run through Vietnam about 300 kilometers. You know the Red River quite important for Vietnam because you know they provide the water. It provide the water for cultivations. As you know, Vietnam, we are still agricultural country. With the 55% population of Vietnam, the farmer living by farming. Yeah. So what you can see, now we are on the, you know, Vietnam, you know, the second biggest country export the rice to the world. We are also the second biggest country export the coffee to the world after Brazil. So on, you can see, we are on the Trương Dương Bridge. This bridge is named Trương Dương. It would be by Vietnamese in the year 1985. Now everybody can see, look at on the left hand side, you can see the bridge, right? So that is Long Biên Bridge. It is the oldest bridge in Hanoi. It could be by French in the year 1898. It completed in the year 1902. So you know the guy who designed Eiffel Tower in Paris, he designed it. You know. Because in the past, right, Vietnam like country French colony, right, 100 years, right? Because you know in the past, right, Hanoi, like capital for Indochina, for three countries, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. That's why when you come to Hanoi, when you're walking around Hanoi, right, you see there are some building, it have French architecture, right? Like Hanoi Opera House or French Quarter, right? Everyone, this is the first time you come to Vietnam? First time?
Yes.
Vietnamese, huh? Vietnamese and US. Yeah. This is the first time you come to Vietnam, everybody? Other people?
Yes.
First time?
Yes.
How do you feel so far? So far so good?
Yes.
So when you come to Vietnam, what the most make you impression about Vietnam? People, landscape, food? How about me? I think the first thing when the tourists come to Vietnam, right? You know, we're impressed about the traffic in Vietnam, right? crazy with many motorbikes, right?
Yes.
So when you want to the cross the streets, the a little bit difficult for you, right? Because no motorbike driver they not stop till you cross the streets, right? They just keep driving. Now in Vietnam, right? Motorbike driver they not follow rules. Even me, yeah, because if we see police, we follow rules. Yeah, no police means no rule. So that's why we drive everywhere on the road. We drive everywhere on the road. Because normally the left side, right, spent for the car, right? But you see here, like lady, you see, drive on the car lane, right? Normally motorbike, right, we drive on the right hand side, right? Even in the rush hour, we drive motorbike on the pavement. Why? Because rush hour, everyone finish working, come back home, right? So we want to go back home early to go to market buy the food for the dinner, right? That's why on the rush hour, traffic very busy. So some motorbike driver they drive on the pavement, and we horn a lot, honking a lot. Do you know how many motorbike we have? How many motorbike we have in Vietnam?
So million.
Do you know the population of Vietnam? How many people?
15 million.
You know the population of Vietnam now is around 100 million people for whole country. Yeah, but motorbike 60 million motorbikes for whole country. Nearly more than a half population of Vietnam, right? Why Vietnamese people we use motorbikes? Because motorbike is very, in Vietnam very cheap, right? With the $800 US, so they can buy a new motorbike from Honda brand. Yeah. One more reason, the income for Vietnamese people very low. Vietnamese labor, right? Very low income, very low. Every year, the average income for Vietnamese labor per year we can get like 3,000 or 4,000 US dollar per year. Yeah. And one more reason, the car in Vietnam very expensive. The car in Vietnam very expensive. Because in Vietnam, when we want to order car, we have to pay a lot of tax for government. For the normal car, we have to pay nearly 200% tax for government. For the luxury car, right, we have to pay nearly 300% tax for government. So that's why, that's the only reason, right? Vietnamese people we use motorbike. Yeah. So the car in Vietnam, right, for the people have high income, high income. Because the car very expensive. You can imagine, like Rolls Royce, right, in the country like around 300 or 500,000 US dollar, right? But in Vietnam, 1.5 million, even 3 million dollars, depending on the type, the Rolls Royce, right? With a full option, something like that. Yeah, very expensive. Do you know I told you, right? Vietnam we have 100 million people in Vietnam, right? But Vietnam, Vietnam has 54 ethnic people in Vietnam. 54 ethnic people in Vietnam. Like me, I am Viet people or King people. KINH. King people like me, right? Occupy about like 55% population Vietnam. Where do we live? We live in a city or countryside. Other people, they are named Mông people, Dao people, Giấy people, Ede, Bana, Tây Nùng, Cơ Tu, Thái people, They are the minority ethnic people in Vietnam. Yeah, where do they live? They live in the jungle or on mountainous area or on the highland. So that's why if you have time, if you go to Sapa, so you can see the Mông people, Dao people, Giấy people. When you go to the South Vietnam, like you go to the Tây Nguyên province, so you can see Ede people, Cơ Tu people, Bana people. Yeah, they're different. They are different with us. Yeah. Mostly all of them nowadays they're still living by hunting and farming, right? And they have different language with us. Yeah, but they can speak Vietnamese. Yeah, Vietnamese language like national language. Yeah. But so that's why when I come to Sapa, when the Hmong people, Dao people, Giấy people, right, they talk each other, I cannot understand what they say because they have different language. Yeah. But they can speak Vietnamese. Yeah, because Vietnamese language is like national language. Now what I can see, Vietnamese people we speak the language with the alphabet letter, right? A, B, D, C, D, with some symbol above letter or word, right? The language now what we speak it created by two men from Portugal. They come to Vietnam and they are missionary. They come to Vietnam and they make the language for us. They borrow the alphabet letter. According to the history books, I learned in the school. Yeah. Before, in the past, Vietnamese people, we speak Han language. Han language from China, That's why when you come to Pagoda Temple, right, you see a Chinese character on the Pagoda or temple, right? Even in the past, Vietnamese people, we can speak French, right? Because the French occupied Vietnam 100 years. 100 years. So the French people use the French language for education, Vietnamese people. That's why, right? Vietnamese language very complicated. Very complicated. Because Vietnamese language have 6 tones. Yeah, to make the word have a meaning. Yeah. I can teach you some Vietnamese. You can say hello in Vietnam. You say xin chào.
Xin chào.
You say thank you. It means cảm ơn. Cảm ơn. Yeah. Right, that's Vietnamese language. If you want to learn more, you can ask me. Right, I would like to teach you because today we have a long day with you. Right, go in the morning and come back here to Hanoi in evening 8:30. 8:30. Right. So talk about the language, right, and about the Judaism in Vietnam. Because Vietnam have 54 ethnic people in Vietnam, right? So that's why Vietnam has Vietnam is a multi-religion country. In Vietnam, right, we have Buddhism, Catholic, Muslim, Hinduism, or Islam. But mostly Vietnamese people like Buddhists, like Buddhism, like the biggest religion in Vietnam, and the Catholic is the second biggest religion in Vietnam. Catholic come to Vietnam in the 17th century. Buddhism come to Vietnam in the 2nd century. But until the 10th century, Buddhism become the major religion in Vietnam. Before that, Vietnamese people, we follow the Confucianism. Same with the Chinese, the Buddhism come to Vietnam by 2 ways. The first way from China, the second way from India. Yeah, so that's why the Buddhism between North of Vietnam and the South Vietnam different. Because the North of Vietnam, we get influence Buddhism from China. But the South Vietnam, right, we get influence Buddhism from India. Vietnamese people, we often go to pagoda twice per month. Vietnamese people, we use a lunar calendar, same with Chinese. That's why on the first day of lunar month, so we often go to pagoda for praying. And the second time, right, so we go on the day 15 of lunar month, when the full moon, right? So when we go to pagoda, right, we often buy something like fruit, cake, flower, soft drink, beer. They are like offering for the Buddha or for dead people. Because in Vietnamese culture, right, Vietnamese people, we believe that when someone die, right, so they just they still alive, just go to underworld for living. So when they live there, right, they also need something to eat. That's why every month, so we often buy offering like fruit cake and something else we offer to the dead people or God. That's about Judaism in Vietnam, like 5 more days. Today 26. Okay, 5 more days, right? You welcome New Year, right? But Vietnamese people, we have to wait like more than 20 days. Because Vietnamese people, we use a lunar calendar. New Year with Vietnamese people like the big holiday. Because we have like 10 days off or 15 days off. It's a big holiday for Vietnamese people. At that time, right, Vietnamese people, we often come back hometown, right, to meet the member in family and drinking and eating all the time. Yeah, because we go around the neighborhood, go around the house where we live, right. We go to another people, I mean the neighborhood. Yeah, so we come and we share something. Say the good luck for all of them, and hopefully on the new year, right, they have good luck and good doing business. They can make more money. Yeah, so that's why. So that about the Judaism in Vietnam, right? I think when you come to Vietnam, I think you read a lot about Vietnam, right? Like Vietnamese people, Vietnamese history, right? But mostly all of you, Vietnam in the past like country.